and that one. The concept of an ECC and S4HANA we need to understand. Okay. In we were not able to create okay, sorry, currency types in ECC. Currency types are nothing but a, okay, now I have created one currency, right? Okay, one is the group currency which I have created. I am talking about this one. The currency types, if I want to create this currency types in ECC system, this option was not available in ECC system. Okay, but in S4 HANA, we have an option. We have an option. We have an option to create the currency, new currency type. New currency types. Then remember, in ECC, we can able to create, we can able to map only 3 currencies to company code. But now in S4 HANA, remember, in S4 HANA, we can able to map additional 8 more currencies. Additional 8 more currencies. Remember, additional 8 more currencies which we can able to map. Okay, now in ECC, the 0L, okay, apart from standard ledger, we have non-leading ledgers. We have non-leading ledgers. But now in S4 HANA, apart from leading, remember, apart from leading, non-leading ledgers, we have extension ledger, extension and predictive account. Extension ledger, where you can, I can show you. If I go to the ledgers, any ledgers, you can see here extension ledger. Okay, so the standard ledger, even it was there in ECC also, but now extension ledger, this is the concept what they have introduced. Okay, now the extension ledger, okay, so the extension ledger, so and predict, okay, so the extension and predictive ledger. Okay, so now, okay, I'll mention is the extension ledger, the predictive, it's a part of the extension only. Okay, I'll mention. Okay, so the extension ledger, so the extension ledger is the ledger where we can use for the adjustment postings, remember. Okay, so now this is the one more concept which is there in S4 HANA. Remember what was there in ECC, and also I'll mention there are some important few other points also. Then okay, so what we were doing, we have discussed about accounting principles, ledgers. ECC, and apart from the leading, non-leading ledger, we have the extension ledgers. Okay, there is a one more point which I forgot. Okay, now the document storage. Remember, okay, this is the one important one, very important one. Then the total documents, the total tables in ECC, Flaggle Flex T, okay, FA, the total, okay, okay, I'll mention like this. Balances were storing into Flaggle Flex table. FAGAL, FAGAL, FLEXT table. Remember, table. This was the table which they were using, but now in S4 HANA, remember in S4 HANA, the uh, the total table is ACDOCA. Remember now, so the flaggle flex and flaggle flex t table, okay, completely has been removed. This is the one of the biggest change. Okay, total tables are nothing but a whatever the business transactions which has happened. Okay, so for all transactions related the total value, okay, which was storing in ECC into the flaggle flex t table. Okay, now in S4 HANA, it is the EAC table. Remember, this is what we need to understand. Then this is the one important thing. Now let's move on to the new GL, I mean the document splitting concept. Okay. Now the document, this is about the ledgers. Okay. This is about the ledgers. Then document splitting. So I just have explained here what was there in ECC, what is there in S4 HANA. Okay, if you still have any queries, so please come back to me. Then the concept of document splitting. What is mean by the document splitting? Because I was trying to explain in ECC itself, but due to the document splitting functionality, I was unable to enable in ECC system due to some technical error. Now let me explain you document splitting. Okay, so the document splitting is part of new GL. Remember, without the document splitting question, no more interview. Okay, that is what remember. Okay, the interview they must ask you about the document splitting functionality, about the functionality, then as well as with example. Okay, so that is the reason. Please concentrate here. This is a very important one. Okay, when I say the document splitting, what was there? Okay, earlier before new GL, what was happening? Okay, now first of all, for what purpose the document splitting functionality is to be required? Okay, now for our business organization, if you remember correctly, profit center accounting. Okay, the profit center accounting, in order to derive all the business transactions like a balance sheet and as well as a P&L transactions, what we have done for balance sheet transactions based on the business area, we have mapped the derivation rules. Okay, we have mapped the derivation rules for the in the profit center accounting in order to derive the business transactions and get updated into the profit center accounting. Okay, for our business organization, or else, okay, our I'll mention our business organization drawing the or preparing the financial statements financial statements based on profit centers based on profit centers. Let us assume I have the profit center PC01. This profit center 01, I have created one manufacturing plant level. Remember the manufacturing plant. Okay. The PC will be, okay, I'll mention the profit center is created for okay, I'll put it Hyderabad manufacturing plant. Remember PC01. Then next one, which I have created profit center 2. Profit center 2. Say even though the company code is the same, but while posting a business transactions, I will use the profit center to derive the business transactions. Okay. So now profit center 2, which I am using for the profit center, this profit center will be created for my Mumbai plant. For my Mumbai plant. At this point of time, as you remember, I can draw the, okay, if I go here, profit center accounting derivation, I have already explained once again. See now, you can see here, this is the profit center accounting what I have explained for you. The advantages of the profit center accounting is it derives profit centers automatically through the derivation rule. See now if I want to prepare a financial statement, what information I would require? I would require is the expenditure and revenue information to prepare my P&L account. To prepare my balance sheet, I would require is a balance sheet transactions. How the transactions which are getting updated into through the cost centers, all my expenses information which will be captured and transferred with help of the cost centers. All my revenues will be captured through the automatic account assignment. Either it's a OK B9. In case of all my balance sheet transactions through business area. This is the concept which I have explained in detail. See now profitability balance sheet, which I want to prepare a balance sheet and P&L account based on my profit centers. In such situation, okay, then what will happen? Now the profit center, always the balance should be equal to my profit center. Remember how the balances to be equal. How the what is mean by balancing equal? Okay, the document splitting is a profit center wise we understood. Okay, now let me give you the example. Based on the selection criteria, the system is going to split the line items. Let us assume I'll take the example. This example is important. Okay, now I have done one purchase transaction. Okay, or sell transaction. Let us take the sell transaction. Okay, when I sell to the customer, what will happen? Customer will be debit. Then I sold to customer two items. Remember, I sold to customer two items. One is the laptop, one is for the mobile. Remember, then the cost would be a 1 lakh rupees, let us assume. Then this is the laptop which I sold is a 70,000, mobile which I sold to 30,000. Remember, understand here. Now the laptop which is relevant for the profit center 1, PC01. See this accounting entry, it should update into my profit center 1. This accounting entry, it should update into my profit center 2. Okay. At this point of time, the only the credit entries which are available. Sorry. Now I could see that if you can see here, the credit entries which has been passed to my profit centers. But now what about the debit entry? Debit entry, it's a only one entry. I did not mention any profit center here. So When I draw the reports, financial reports based on the profit center wise, then the debit entry balance which is not matching in my books of accounts. So to avoid this situation, what SAP has come up with the concept, call it as a document splitting. When I say the document splitting, how system is going to splitting these line items. This is the accounting entry. I will mention accounting entry before document splitting. This is the accounting entry. Okay. Before document splitting, this is the accounting entry takes place. Then after document splitting, activation, how system will say. After document splitting, how system will takes place. The similar way, okay, the similar way you can see here, then what will happen? The system is going to split the line items. Then here the system will split the line item like this. Customer account 70,000. Then here also customer. So what is going to happen here is the, okay, so the customer itself, okay, RL, okay, it will split like this. Sorry. So itself, it is splitting the line items. Okay, again, okay, it's a debit credit which is not matching. Sorry. So now the line items, now you can see here when I'm going to draw the report. These two debit credit entries which will get updated into my profit center one. These debit credit entries which will get updated into my profit center. So here my debit entries, credit entries both are matching here. Okay. So what system is doing, that system is splitting the line items. Okay. According to the profit center wise. Okay. If the system is not splitting the balances, which we cannot match the balances. I mean, we cannot prepare the financial statement. So that could be the reason. We can split the line items according to the selection characteristics. Okay, now profit center wise, which I am splitting this value. Okay, so now if I go and draw the financial reports, the values, the debit credit entries both are matching here. This is what the concept of the document splitting. In this document splitting, there are different kind of, okay, configuration setups is to be required. Okay, what are those? If I would say, then the document splitting, in this document splitting, we need to understand the concepts. One is a active active document splitting. B is the passive document splitting. Active document splitting, passive document splitting. The next one is that zero balance. Zero balance splitting. So these are the three concepts which I'm going to explain in tomorrow's session. Then we will activate the document splitting. Then we will do the document splitting related post configuration. Then we will execute the scenarios in tomorrow. Okay, let's see how the system is going to split. Okay, once this will be done, then you need to understand there is a one more concept, call it as a entry view and ledger view. Once the document will get posted, once the document splitting, once the documents will get posted, we need to see entry view. Important, remember, entry view and ledger view. Okay, this concept also we need to what is mean by entry view, what is mean by ledger view, we will see in tomorrow.